Hello, everybody. It's great to be back again. Appreciate everybody tuning in and watching the videos. I do have some exciting news. I was on a podcast recently, and that should be coming out shortly, and I'll be sure to post it. Thank you for tuning in again. Basically, these videos are about my journey to being more fluent, my difficulties with stuttering, and my journey in therapy, which happened a few years ago. So most of the time I was in therapy, obviously it was very technical. I was in therapy for about 3 months, and I thought I stuttered less than I thought and then more than I thought, especially when my favorite speech therapist asked me to speak without changing any words, because those of you who have watched videos in the past, my videos, you know I was a big word changer. So if I had a moment of stuttering upcoming in my speech, I would change the word. And that would typically get me through it. There were times, and again, I've had enough moment where I had difficulty getting through it in a work setting. So I began therapy or sought out a therapist shortly thereafter. Again, during those 3 months, it was up and down in therapy. One question that always arises, and I did a little research on it recently. I asked the question to my therapist, how often should I use these techniques? And the last one I did, the previous video, was about cancellations, which I went through. Again, catching yourself in that moment of stuttering, stopping, saying the word back to yourself silently 2 or 3 times, retraining your brain for more fluent speech, and then gently proceeding into that word and the rest of the phrase or utterance. So I asked the therapist, do I have to do these all the time? And again, we'll chronicle some of them and some of these techniques, some of the most popular techniques. And the therapist said to me, yes, all the time. And I read an article from stutteringhelp.org, and that confirmed it for me, that yes, you should be basically using techniques all the time. Does that mean techniques work 100% of the time? Of course not. However, what if they work a lot of the time, and whatever that is for you, however you define a lot? I say yes and keep practicing them until they become second nature like they are for me. The one technique I wanted to review today was a pullout. We all know when we're ready to stutter. We all know that we could be in the middle of a moment of stuttering. Like if I use the phrase, let me do that. And I'll use baseball as one of the words on which I get stuck, right? If I said baseball is coming back, right? I finished that. I didn't go back and say baseball is coming back, or baseball is coming back. When I got stuck, right, I would say baseball, right? I could continue phonating or making a sound and finish it, but try to finish it gently so you can reduce the tension, right? Often I've talked about how your fist can be the tension we feel sometimes as people who stutter. And when we let go of that fist, there's less tension in our hand at that point, right? We're reducing that tension in our hand. And in our speech, we want to reduce that tension. And that's basically a pullout. So please practice it. I believe it's great to try to pull those out and go light when you're coming out of them so you could reduce that tension. And again, use these techniques. Again, I did cancellation last time. This is a pullout. Try to use these techniques in practice, maybe 5 minutes a day when you're talking to yourself. That's great homework to do. 5 minutes, which is what I used to do in therapy. That's why I bring it up. It's 5 minutes every day, or maybe even 10. I broke it into maybe in the morning for a warm-up, and then later on at night, I would do it again to practice these techniques. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'll have more about techniques and my journey towards better fluency, more fluency. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you want, and be on the lookout for that podcast soon, I hope. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.